Antarctica is the coldest, driest, and windiest continent on Earth. Temperatures can fall below -60 degrees Celsius. Winds can reach hurricane force. For months, the sun disappears entirely. There are no forests, no land predators, no permanent human settlements. By every biological rule, Antarctica should be lifeless, and yet it is not. In the frozen silence, a small number of animals have achieved something extraordinary. They haven't just adapted to the cold, they've evolved to depend on it. Their bodies conserve heat in ways most mammals cannot. Their behavior turns survival into strategy. Their biology operates at the very limits of what life can tolerate. These animals are not visitors. They are residents of the harshest environment on Earth. And each one survives using a completely different method. Emperor penguin, surviving the coldest winter on Earth. Among all Antarctic animals, none is more closely tied to the ice than the emperor penguin. It is the only bird on Earth that breeds during the Antarctic winter, a season defined by darkness, brutal storms, and temperatures that can freeze exposed skin in seconds. For emperor penguins, survival begins with insulation. Their bodies are built like living thermal systems. A thick layer of fat sits beneath the skin, trapping heat and protecting vital organs. Above that, an incredibly dense layer of feathers forms a windproof barrier. These feathers overlap tightly, creating air pockets that retain warmth even in extreme cold. But physical adaptation alone isn't enough. Their greatest survival strategy is social. During the winter breeding season, thousands of emperor penguins gather together and form massive huddles. Each bird presses tightly against the next, reducing exposure to the wind and sharing body heat. Inside the huddle, temperatures can rise dramatically, sometimes more than 20 degrees warmer than the outside air. The birds rotate constantly. Those on the outer edge slowly move inward, while others take their place. It's a continuous, cooperative motion that allows every individual to survive. But their most extraordinary challenge is reproduction. After laying a single egg, the female transfers it carefully to the male's feet. The male balances the egg on top of his feet and covers it with a fold of skin known as a brood pouch. He will hold it there for more than 2 months. During that time, he does not eat. He stands in darkness and blizzards, surviving entirely on stored body fat, while protecting the fragile egg from temperatures that could freeze it solid in minutes. When the chick finally hatches, the male feeds it a special nutrient-rich secretion until the female returns from the sea with food. It is one of the most extreme parenting strategies in the animal kingdom, a perfect example of how survival in Antarctica depends not only on biology, but on behavior, endurance, and cooperation. While emperor penguins dominate the ice above, Weddell seals rule the frozen world below it. These seals live in one of the most challenging habitats on Earth, the ocean beneath thick Antarctic sea ice. At first glance, this environment seems impossible. The water is near freezing. The surface is sealed by solid ice. Air is accessible only through small breathing holes. Yet Weddell seals spend most of their lives here. Their survival begins with their bodies. A thick layer of blubber insulates them from the cold and acts as an energy reserve during long dives. Their blood contains high levels of oxygen-storing proteins, allowing them to remain underwater for extended periods. Some dives last more than an hour. When they descend, their heart rate slows dramatically. Blood flow shifts away from non-essential organs and focuses on the brain and heart. It's a natural adaptation that conserves oxygen and allows them to explore deep beneath the ice in search of fish and squid. But perhaps their most remarkable behavior involves breathing. Weddell seals maintain breathing holes in the ice by using their teeth to scrape and grind openings in the frozen surface. These holes are their lifelines. Without them, returning to the surface would be impossible. The seals memorize the locations of these holes and navigate back to them in total darkness. Even their reproduction is adapted to this environment. Pups are born on the ice, but near access points to the water, allowing mothers to feed and protect them efficiently. Their entire life cycle is synchronized with the frozen landscape. Where humans see a barrier, Weddell seals see a home. Leopard seal, the hunter of the Southern Ocean. Not all Antarctic animals survive by avoiding danger. Some survive by mastering it. The leopard seal is one of Antarctica's most powerful predators, fast, intelligent, and perfectly adapted to hunting in freezing water. Unlike bulkier seals, leopard seals have long, streamlined bodies designed for speed and agility. Their powerful jaws and sharp teeth allow them to hunt a wide range of prey, from fish and squid to penguins and even other seals. But strength alone does not define their survival. Their advantage lies in versatility. Leopard seals can switch hunting strategies depending on conditions. In open water, they rely on speed and stealth. Near the ice edge, they ambush prey from below, using shadows and sudden bursts of motion to surprise animals resting on the surface. Their senses are highly tuned for this environment. They can detect vibrations, movements, and subtle changes in the water, critical skills in a world where visibility is often limited. They also have a thick blubber layer that protects them from the cold while providing energy during long periods without food. But what makes leopard seals particularly successful is their independence. Unlike many Antarctic species that rely on groups, leopard seals hunt alone. They are solitary, adaptable, and opportunistic, traits that allow them to thrive in a constantly shifting environment where prey availability changes with the ice. In Antarctica, survival can mean cooperation, or it can mean dominance. Leopard seals represent the second path.
Orcas, intelligence in the frozen ocean. Few animals demonstrate the power of intelligence like Antarctic orcas. These whales are not just strong swimmers, they are strategic hunters, capable of coordinated behavior that rivals that of land predators. In Antarctic waters, different groups of orcas specialize in different prey. Some target fish, others hunt seals, some even focus on penguins. Each group develops its own techniques and passes them down through generations. One of the most famous strategies is wave hunting. A group of orcas will swim together toward an ice floe where a seal is resting. As they approach, they synchronize their movements and generate a powerful wave that breaks the ice or washes the seal into the water. Once the seal falls in, the hunt begins. This behavior requires timing, communication, and learning. Young orcas watch adults perform the technique and practice it themselves. It's culture, not just instinct. Their bodies are also adapted to extreme cold. A thick layer of fat insulates them, while their circulatory systems regulate heat loss in the fins and tail. But their greatest advantage remains their brains. Orcas solve problems. They communicate using complex vocalizations. They remember hunting grounds and migration routes. In Antarctica, intelligence is not just useful, it's a survival tool. Antarctic krill, the species that holds everything together. At first glance, Antarctic krill seem insignificant. They are small, shrimp-like creatures, often only a few centimeters long. Yet they form one of the most important biological foundations on Earth. Nearly every major Antarctic animal depends on them. Whales eat them, seals eat them, penguins eat them, fish eat them. Without krill, the entire ecosystem would collapse. Their survival strategy is based on numbers. Krill gather in massive swarms that can stretch for kilometers. These swarms reduce the chance of any single individual being eaten and increase reproductive success. They feed primarily on microscopic algae that grow beneath sea ice. During winter, when food is scarce, krill can slow their metabolism and survive on minimal energy. Some even shrink their bodies temporarily to conserve resources. They also glow. Krill produce bioluminescent light, which may help them communicate, confuse predators, or stay organized within swarms. Their life cycle is tightly linked to the ice. If sea ice declines, algae declines, and krill populations drop. And when krill decline, everything else follows. They are small, but they are essential. What Antarctica teaches us about survival. Antarctica is often described as a frozen desert, a place too hostile for life. But that description is incomplete. Life exists there not because conditions are gentle, but because evolution found solutions. Some animals survive through cooperation, some through strength, some through intelligence, and some simply by existing in overwhelming numbers. Every species on this continent represents a different answer to the same question. How do you live where life should be impossible? The emperor penguin survives through unity. The wetland seal survives through endurance. The leopard seal survives through dominance. The orca survives through intelligence. The krill survive through scale. Together, they form a fragile but powerful ecosystem, one that depends on ice, balance, and stability. And that balance is changing. As temperatures rise and sea ice shifts, the survival strategies that took millions of years to evolve are being tested. Antarctica is not just a distant wilderness, it is a living laboratory, a place that reveals how life adapts, how ecosystems connect, and how survival depends on the smallest details. In the coldest place on Earth, every breath, every hunt, every migration matters, because here, survival is not guaranteed. It is earned every single day.